Good afternoon and welcome to all. So today in the methodology and instrumentation we are going to discuss about refrigerator used in microbiology laboratory. Introduction. The laboratory refrigerators are used to cool samples or specimens for preservation. So mainly we are using these refrigerators for the preservation purpose. They include refrigeration units for storing blood plasma and other blood products as well as vaccines and other pharmaceutical supplies. They differ from standard refrigerators used in homes or restaurants because they need to be totally hygienic and also completely reliable. The laboratory refrigerators are mainly used to cool samples or specimens for the preservation purpose. They include the refrigeration units for storing blood plasma and other blood products as well as vaccines and other medical and pharmaceutical supplies. I think this same slide I have repeated, sorry. The refrigerator in the laboratory, it is one of the most important equipment, and its function. What are the functions of laboratory refrigerators? It is to maintain in a controlled environment, such as various fluids and substances should be maintained in a controlled environment so that they are kept in good condition. The lower the temperature, the lower the chemical and biological activity. To achieve this, it is required that the internal temperature of the refrigerator must be lower than the ambient temperature. The laboratory refrigerators needs to be maintained in a consistent temperature. Why? In order to minimize the risk of bacterial contamination and the chance of explosion of volatile materials must be reduced. To achieve a high grade of accuracy, the refrigerators need proper air circulation. That means they need air to circulate and a fan to maintain an even temperature at all times. So the fan in the laboratory refrigerators turns off when the door is open to prevent the cold air from blowing out of the unit. The laboratory refrigerators feature separate compartments to prevent cross-contamination and can hold specific medical supplies such as blood or vaccines. This point I have discussed earlier. Now, what are the uses of this equipment? It can be simple to identify. The laboratory refrigerator has the main function of properly conserving any type of substances, either liquid or homogeneous, so that when performing the analysis, they generate the results correctly. And these laboratory elements, which contribute greatly to the management and preservation of substance, must be taken as essential and vital in any laboratory, however small it may be. So you must remember that the main element for this to work is mainly what? Low temperature. Therefore, you must know which is adequate for what you want to keep. Do it efficiently. Now the special features. It is important that you know how a laboratory refrigerator is composed. In this way, you will be able to identify each of its functions, parts and elements, getting you to fulfill or familiarize yourself. The laboratory refrigerator is constituted by an evaporator. So it possesses an evaporator. You can also observe a conservation cabinet where you can place each substance or samples. Then finally, a thermostat that allows you to control the temperature and cooling system. So it may possess an evaporator which helps which we can observe the conservation cabinet, and also it may require thermostat also to control the temperature and the cooling system. Usually this evaporator can be found on the top of the refrigerator cabinet to know that the refrigerator is in use. It determines that evaporator is below 0 degrees Celsius even if you are not alarmed if it reaches the temperature of 5 to 30 degrees Celsius. So in other sense, the cabinet has a space under the evaporator where you can place the shelves. So under the evaporator, there is a shelf for the storage of samples or substances. Generally, the laboratory refrigerator has an appearance similar to that of domestic one. So their appearance is similar to those which we are using in our home. Therefore, it will not be so complex to identify it and know what its function is. So it is difficult to differentiate both types, both laboratory type as well as homely used refrigerators. Now what are the different types of laboratory refrigerators? First one, explosion proof refrigerator, and these are mainly designed to store flammable liquids and hazardous chemicals. A lack of electrical equipment prevents fire caused by the sparks in the storage area, making it safe to use with combustible materials. Next is about lab fridges. Those are designed to maintain consistent temperatures and monitor the temperatures with digital displays. They are general laboratory refrigerators and they are need to include lockable, easy to clean sections. They are also used to cool samples and for preservation. Lab fridges. Next one is blood bank refrigerator. They comply with all American and European regulations. Reliability is critical for this type, along with the ability to monitor temperature. They also need to have separate compartments for storing different sample types. Next one is chromatography refrigerators. They are designed for research experiments and they are best used for the laboratories where medical samples and procedures require precise temperature settings and administration. Then, for example, a laboratory refrigerator can be used to set up a chromatography apparatus within the refrigerator chamber. Next is about temperature capability. The laboratory refrigerator typically operate from 2 to 10 degrees Celsius, very low temperature. Although there are exceptions, it is best to use a refrigerator that closely meets temperature needs, because the lower the temperature, the more power it returns. The control settings for the laboratory refrigerators can range from a simple dial thermostat, which is cold, colder or coldest, to a sophisticated digital LED supply that allows for the precise programmable logic controls. What should you consider for the proper functioning of your laboratory refrigerator? For its proper functioning, each of the refrigerator that you will find in laboratory have great importance. In this way, analysis and studies which we are carrying out will be optimal. It is important to note that for the best functioning of refrigerators, it is necessary that they be located in a cool and ventilated environment. At least there must be a window in order to avoid heating that area. The refrigeration techniques is produced through a phenomenon that has to do with heat transfer physics and can be given by the compression or absorption. The compressor refrigerator is usually used in places where the electricity is constant, while the absorption refrigerator is used where there is no electricity. So these are the two types, compression. The instruments or equipments which are found within a laboratory have a vital function for each of the processes. In fact, they are essential for the proper functioning of the laboratory. When we are installing a laboratory refrigerator in your spaces, you need to follow a series of recommendations. Why? In order to properly maintain your equipment. Additionally, you must place it in a minimum of 15 cm from the wall. This also favors air circulation. So you guarantee that its usual life will last as long as possible. Next is about design. When selecting the refrigerator, it is important to consider the design needs. The space is limited in the laboratory, then the refrigerator can be mounted on the wall. If the space is limited, then it can be mounted within the wall or incorporated into another unit. Some laboratories are designed to fit under a laboratory counter. Space-saving designs are more susceptible to temperature fluctuations. Because of their size, they are more susceptible to temperature fluctuations. Most laboratory refrigerators are equipped with one or more solid doors or sliding glass doors. The refrigerators need to lock in order to prevent unauthorized personnel from accessing dangerous items such as clinical samples, narcotics and vaccines. The adjustable sleeves in the adjustable shelves in the microbiology laboratory refrigerators are made up of, it should be made with the metals. So each shelf should be made with metals such as aluminium or stainless steel. The products with shelves made of coated wire are also available. By design, most laboratory refrigerator shelves are washed down capably, sanitary or to maintain the hygienic conditions, it should be washed. Many refrigerators also have a lockable drawers or separate cabinets as well as an alarm system. This can help. So what happens? So this alarm system can help to eradicate cross-contamination of the materials and stop unauthorized personnel handling sensitive items. Persons who are handling sensitive items. So that's all about the laboratory refrigerators. So rest of the points you can discuss while checking the textbook. Okay. Thank you. And also you can refer the picture from the internet. Okay. Thank you.